Oh my God, eh? Oh, I thought I'd better salvage me blooming new radiator cap. I think that's about the only thing that was worth salvaging out of that motor. Anyway, you've come along at the right time. We're at the pointy end of the project. We're going to try and get the crane off of here, and I think if I don't actually get the crane off of this truck and onto the other truck, well, the whole project will have been a dead loss. But anyway, fingers crossed, say a prayer, give a chant, I don't know, all of the above. Help me out. Here we go. So I'm thinking we'll get it on the new truck and we might run it into the auto electrician and get the few wires fixed up and buy a few spare solenoids to put in the toolkit. But I figured I'll see if I can get it off this old truck first before I do too much more excitement. Although I couldn't figure out how to get the jolly thing to the auto electrician in the condition it's in any rate. So we'll put it on this new truck and we'll find out what's going on. Honestly, the things that go on... If a bloke had some more money, he might have just skipped over all this excitement and just gone and got himself a blooming proper fork truck. I see all the little trucks and trailers and bees going everywhere in the Riverland at the minute, and I'm all envious, all these cute little forklifts everywhere. But anyway, one thing at a time. You can't do everything, can you? I thought it was a good transition. We'll get this crane on there, and that truck we bought, we'll be able to tow a trailer eventually, if I ever get a tow bar put on it. If we screw this up, we might just skip over this craney part, but anyway, hopefully not. Anyway, we'll just have to find the right size spanner. I'm thinking I'll put a spanner on the top and I'll get the socket set underneath and we'll give it a bit of a twist. And then I've got to cut it up here somewhere. No, I haven't decided where to cut it just yet, but we'll get to that bit in a minute. But I figure we'll see if we can undo the bolts first, because if we can't undo the bolts, well then, the project's in all sorts of strife. What do you reckon? 2 sizes? What's that? Gosh, 3/4. No, that's a bit. Yeah. Okay, must be a 3/16. Oh, that's a nice snug little fit. Cool. Right. I'll just check underneath, because sometimes the nut on the head of the bolt is different to the nut that's on the bolt. If that makes any sense. That'll look good. That'll work. Hopefully, if we can turn the jolly thing, we'll find out in a minute. Oh gosh, who needs to go to the gym? Golly goodness me. That would hurt if you hit yourself in the head with that, wouldn't it? Or probably knock your teeth out, no. Anyway, let's see if we can undo something. Oh, I wonder how tight this is going to be on here. God. It's not very bloody convenient, is it? Oh, fantasy land, Mr. deCaux. Oh, it even moved. That's not bad. Oh, it's usually the way you only get 1 out of 3, and it's usually the first one just to get you enthusiastic. Not that I want to be too negative. Oh, there goes the nut. Oh, my poor mum. I hope this actually works out for us. Now for the fun part, we got to get, that didn't even move. We didn't need a spanner after all that. The bolt up here hadn't even moved. That like just sat in there like rusted in. Oh shit, that can't be good. Oh man. Oh. Well, so far so good. Come on. Ow. Well, that's 3 down. Oh, yep, that nut's gone where the radiator cap went. Oh, help. I'm getting too old for this madness, honestly. Oh, old man waddle. Goodness me. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Actually, my song would probably be Nobody Knows the Troubles I've Created, wouldn't it be? Nobody knows but me, and perhaps the rest of the world. We must remember to get the diesel out of here too, because we filled this up, so there's probably a few bucks worth in there. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Look at that. I'm even doing it with my fingers. The usual rule is that the last one doesn't undo at all or is really horrible, but that was the easiest one, so. Ha! I'm just wondering, would that be completely scab ass if I was to utilise this as my extra support beam? That would be all right, wouldn't it? I think that might be a bit ambitious though. I think we'll cut it off of here and we'll start again. Because all of that's actually just bolted there. I thought it was all part of the show. But I think it's just sitting there. I don't know, I didn't think that would unbolt, but I reckon we might actually try and unbolt that before we go any further. Yes, well, let's do that. Yeah, well, I reckon that's its own thing, so that kind of means we have to try and bolt it back together again. Oh, shit. We'll spray a bit of penetrine on this and see if we can undo them. And if we can undo them, we'll have to see if we can find the nuts that we dropped on the ground. Right to the last thread. Ah! You know you're in trouble when the bolt warms up, when you're undoing it. Did they make life any more complicated, honestly? God. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. Come on, we're nearly there. Oh. Yay! That'll teach you, you rotten little bolt. Put you in a bolt box and let you rot. Bloody fine little thread, no wonder it won't undo. Now for the exciting part. Well, I reckon that's starting to come together. Next thing we'll just do the electric cable, cut that off. I think we're going to replace all those cables anyway, but still. No point in destroying them until we get to the replacing part, is it? So we'll do that. It'll be a bit of entertainment to see if we can lift the jolly thing. I think we might actually get it rewired, but we'll get it together and make sure it sort of works, and then we'll take it over and get it rewired up. And I think it needs some new brushes in that old motor too. I was fooling around with that the other day, so then we'll tizzy her up, make a bit of paint. Ah, look like I bought one. Hell, if we're not careful, we'll look like beekeepers. Oh, wouldn't that shit you off? Different jolly size. I don't think that's ever been undone. Okay, we might just be snipping that off. That's one way to solve a problem. Right, let's, for the excitement, see if we can get the blooming thing off. So I reckon if we put the forks up there, but we won't lift from there, we'll put a chain through here and lift here, and hopefully the forks can balance it up and the chain can do the lifting. Anyway, that's what we're going to try and see what happens. Uh-oh, now we're in trouble. God, the chief inspector's arriving. We're in all sorts of strife. Hold your breath, mother. It is. It is. Hopefully we'll be able to get it out of your front yard so you won't have to be pestered by your neighbours as much. Anyway, we're about to see if we can wreck it. Fingers crossed. Say a little prayer. It'll be rather interesting in a minute. We were hoping to get away with it before you turned up.
Candid cameras.
Exactly right. Now, lots of yelling and shouting is about to happen, so here we go. Hang around. You might want to stand over that way a bit, with, or back a bit.
Might swing around, hit me on the head.
Yeah, we don't want that. Reckon that looks suitably dangerous? God. Whether we go with both or just the one. Of course, my chain's not going to be long enough, is it? So we might just go with the one. We might just go with the one fork. She's not impressed. I don't think she's a true believer just yet. Not that I blame her, really. what's that song? I'm a believer, I couldn't lift her if I tried. Ah! Hey, come on, there we go, that'll work. If not, we'll go and buy some more chain. It's this bolt, this side's just gripping a bit, so I just think if I can give it a little of a lever. I'm just thinking this is one of those farmer's moments when you get crushed. I just lift it a little bit more and see what's going on. Hope we've got enough lift, otherwise that'll suck. I think we've run out of lift. Ah! Bloomin' heck! Now, if the silly bloody thing decides to go sliding off the end of the fork bar here, don't try and catch it, all right? Just get the hell out of the way. Anyway, fingers crossed. Ow! I think we might have to change to the other fork because I think we've bent the crap out of this one. I don't know. Oh well, we'll see what that does. I think we'll go and get ourselves a battery and we'll be back. You do. Be a bit of a mongrel. This is not what's holding it down, won't it? But it seems, I don't know. Anyway, we'll start here and see where we end up. Oh well, if it doesn't lift now, we've got some other problem. Have I missed a bolt?
No, there's a bracket.
Ah. Oh, that's helpful. Oh, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Ah, shit. Once we get it up, it's got to go forward a little bit. Oh, well, that's bloody brilliant, isn't it? I was thinking it can't be that bloody heavy. Do you reckon we could just bash it forward a bit for a start and we'll see what that does, and then we can cut it off when we can get at it? There we go. What's that bloody? Is that a fixed bracket there or what? It is too. No wonder that wouldn't come up. It was never coming off of there. Here I'm thinking, my bloody forklift was a bit piss poor, but still.
The lug just came off.
Cool. Now all we've got to do is get past the deck of the truck and we'll be on the money. I reckon that's past it there. Got me all paranoid now. I think when I let it down, I'm going to have to get you to lever it forward. So it's got about that much to go until it comes out. There we are. Yay, beautiful. Anyway, well, technically we're free, so we'll see where we get on from there. Just wondering whether we should leave these little lugs here and then cut a hole in the deck of the truck and so it's got a little bit more support, or whether we just make it all flush and just weld it down. Actually, you know what? I reckon we cut them off and we'll have to make new ones anyway, because if we're going to hook them to the main struts, they're not going to be in the right spot.
What's the tray made of?
The new tray's made out of steel. But I'm just sort of thinking about the strength of the whole thing. Whether if it went through the deck, you would have another bit to pivot against rather than it just being welded.
Yeah.
Now we'll go and have a look. Shall we go and have a look? It's a bit bigger truck.
Yeah, make sure it's the right place where you do the hole.
Yeah, well, one would hope. It wouldn't be that hard to cut through that. Then we could weld it to one of these struts and it'd be super stable. But what do we got here? We have got 6. Oh my goodness, that's going to be typical, isn't it? It's going to end up... Well, that still might be all right. It's going to end up exactly on top of one of these bloody struts. My goodness me, the things we do. It's just not good. But I think we'll leave the lugs on. Cut a hole in the deck and weld them to these struts, and then that'll be nice and safe. What do you reckon? I think that's what we'll do. Heck, this is all welded together. That'd be fun. If we get away with it, we might even do the same either end, so we can actually make it really strong. Because I reckon when you got a couple of boxes of bees swinging out at the end of that crane, we could have a bit of leverage. The plan is to try and get this crane on this blooming fancy new truck, which is proving a little bit more enthusiastic than we thought. But we're going to use the deck, and I'm hoping to figure out how to cut a hole through checker plate without a... I think I've still got an oxy torch around here somewhere, but hopefully I have. Could be rather fun trying to drill a square hole. So first things first, we better go and cut this off, get it tidied up and move the truck somewhere where the blooming power can get to it. That'd be a good idea too. Oh my golly gosh. We've only got the little old dag-ass welder here. The good welder's out home when we welded up that pipe. Anyway, that'll be all right. Oh, I was thinking I'd cut it through here, but I don't know, would that end up too short? Huh. It's a fair way through. It's not that. I reckon we'll just cut them through here, it'll be about right, wouldn't it? I'll get my trusty cameraman to hang on to that end, otherwise the crane will swing around and take off. Ah, oh, shit, lad. Just had a bloody nightmare thought. We've got the truck the wrong way around. After all that effort, I have to turn the truck around. Oh, golly gosh! Anyway, so we thought the most easiest way to blow a hole in the deck of the truck here is to get our oxy torch out. Just all that does is pretty much heat the metal up, and then when it gets hot enough you blast a bit of oxygen to it, and then it just atomizes the metal and away you go, and you can cut holes through shit. So it's a lot quicker than drilling it. Of course, the thing I love about metal is if you bucket it up and just weld the hole back in anyway and just pretend you weren't here. Now, we'll see what happens. Now, we're not going to wreck anything under there, are we?
I don't think so.
Be helpful if a bloke could cut in a straight line. I never did actually say I was an engineer. Check, it's still moving. Getting very close. We don't want it too... Oh, you idiot. We don't want it too snug anyway, do we? Otherwise we'll never get it in there. Woo! Oh, I don't know, you reckon we're dreaming? Ah, far out. Anyway. I really don't think we're going to be quite this clever, but yeah, anyway. At least we've got some holes to get started with. Surely. It'll go somewhere near it, surely. Golly gosh, eh? What a circus. I reckon that's looking pretty good. We'll weld it there. We'll hold it down. We're not going to be that rough.
I mean, once you take this now.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I think it's just sitting there already, so. Yeah. Did we bring this big hammer up here or the crowbar or something? It's got itself jammed in the middle there. I think that's pretty good. I'm fairly happy so far. It'll be a hard drive with a forklift stuck on the side of the tractor, won't it? Hang on. Oh, you silly thing. Well, it's jammed under here and jammed over there, so I'm trying to get it undone without getting too excited, otherwise we might lose everything. Moments like this you can get all excited, don't you? Right, that's off of there now. Look at us, couple of bloody champions. Goodness me, lad. Oh, I think it's not quite square because this was obviously not sitting on the deck before. It was its own thing. So I think what we'll do is I'm gonna get some, well, I haven't got any steel with us and it's too jolly late, so while you're not here, I'm gonna get a bit and I'm gonna weld onto here and then I'll bolt it to the deck either way. And I reckon that's gonna be pretty cool. Should have cleaned this up, I think. I was just thinking it'd really suck if it's turned out to be aluminium, wouldn't it? That would have been great. But luckily that's not the case. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get up there, I think. I'm not that tall. I think you're gonna have to make me a ladder. At least you can walk around the edge of it, that's pretty groovy. Obviously we'll have to do a little bit more supporting and strutting around, but we've run out of daylight and I've run out of enthusiasm. Fingers crossed. Well, I don't know whether I'm just exhausted and delirious or just pretty happy with myself. That's been a pretty good week, I reckon. We've gone from complete crap to completely bloody awesome. So all I got to do now is sort of brace it up a little bit and put a little support beam at the back. So that'll be good. Thank you all for all your support and love and best wishes. And I know you all believed in me. Cool, let's get this bee boxes moved.